Hey everybody, clearing. Got some fluorite here today. All right, it's actually rainbow fluorite, and in my travels I have noticed that this is the stone of the indigo child. So this is innovation coming in, and I'm actually about to do a reading about purpose coming in for the collective. So how fitting. This is like wild card energy coming in. So thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest and most beneficial information. What is it we can see for the collective regarding purpose? So this doesn't matter if you're divine masculine or feminine. This is going to be for you, viewer, whomever you are, and anything we need to know and channel in for purpose as it relates to these connections at this time. Thank you for bringing through the most beneficial information. I'm going to do a chakra levels coming in from the crown chakra down to the root. Now the chakra levels simply talk about the 7 major aspects to our existence in human form. So the different considerations, our connection to source, our intuition, the way we communicate truth, our heart center, what we feel drawn to, the way our heart is guiding us, our empowerment, our success, our sensuality, our sense of pleasure, and our livelihood, our abundance, our healing. Okay, and the emotions connected here. First off, what I'm going to do is get a little bit of a relationship spread for the counterparts. So let's see, feminines, masculines, connection, space, and going into the future. So we do have gate of returning, entrance, death, rebirth, and passage with Metatron star, exaltation, brilliance, triumph, and victory. So there is a victory that's coming in these connections along with a return here. So there's something about manifestation. Metatron is the archangel of manifestation and pulling miracles out of thin air. So there is something that comes in for the two of you when these connections come back around. Every single time you go into solitude to integrate, to balance things out, there's a growth spurt. And so this is talking about the conscious awareness of that next level understanding as you're drawn back together as couples. For the feminines, we have seal of Venus. That can be Empress feminine energy, that you're being sealed with having a certain developmental level of divine femininity. Elemental magic, self-love, and protection. So your self-love is its own protection. You are being set apart. Your energy is in a class of its own because you love yourself. You are not stuck in the ways of the world that undermine and keep us insecure so that we give our power away, feminines. And for the masculines, we get cosmic calibrator, universal attunement, repatterning, and guidance. Masculines are being pulled out of the world as well. And all of the expected norms, the predictive programming, they're being repatterned, they're being guided on Most High through the energetic understanding. So whether they speak in those terms or not, there's more than meets the eye as a factor. What's going into the future? Spiral of life, movement, opening, and unfolding. So this is the unfolding naturally. Non-linear time, we have these dots of light here that have been playing out since your incarnation, since each of you were born into this world. And so some things are going to start adding up in ways you least suspected. You're going to be pleasantly delighted by the way things fall into place coming up here, the way it converges, the way it comes in all at once. And linear sequencing, hierarchy, time, and logic. So we are in non-linear, linear time. We've harmonized. We are about to see how the elegant design of reality is both particle and wave, like light. We can do scientific experiments to pinpoint particles of light and the waveform, just like this non-linear multidimensionality, potentiality, and then the observable, pinpointable, workable pieces in that design. This is going to come to the forefront, and it's going to come through the miraculous alignment and return of counterparts into these connections. So this is like power couple dynamic. When we're talking about purpose, this is the merging of life path. For the feminines, it's all about self-love, isn't it? So that means not taking it personally, no rejectionary thoughts going on. All right, I'm going to set those aside, shuffle this deck one more time because it's going to give us our chakra levels. And what can we see? Okay, so crown chakra, journey, exchange, transference. So this journey is definitely part of your life purpose, emerging at this time like a time capsule. You've needed this connection to show you some of the sensitivities that will help you further receive divine instruction and to know what sits well with your soul and what feels out of alignment for you. What can we see as the theme? So the guidance here is not to worry heavily about missed opportunities in the past. They did not play out because of a higher purpose. You've been anchoring this good on your own, deeply internal this whole time. And so many of the things that haven't worked out have forced you to go into your own lane, to internally process, to think more deeply, to be in hermit mode. Actually, I just saw a meme right before I started this, and it said, employer, what is this gap in your resume? Me, a picture of a hermit card in tarot. So that's kind of what's been going on. There's this deep dive on the crown chakra. It's higher guidance. It is really allowing divine timing and process of, this earth school, this integration of the deeper things, going with the flow, not sweating the way things worked out or not, but really taking instruction and meaning from all of it. Emotional card, perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. This came out in the inverse as well. So it's, we're not being told that from someone outside of ourselves. We are in this sovereign, deep integration of our own divinity. This is on the crown chakra, so it's our intimate connection with source, the knowing that we are capable. We just have to allow whatever is showing up for us to be received for the wisdom, the blessing that it is. Sorry about the dog barking, everybody. What can we see on the third eye? Seal of Metatron, again, second Metatron card. So form, structure, foundation, cosmology. So if you are not using your intuition to pinpoint the ways that you've been laying a solid spiritual foundation through this journey, you are missing the point of your spiritual love journey. Because this really has been teaching you elements of mastery that are laying a strong foundation for the rest of your life. If things haven't come in quickly or easily, it's because you've needed foundational truths. And if you haven't seen those yet, you can't get to a sacred union, to your abundance, without going back and looking at why certain things have played out the way they have for your benefit, for your blessing. This is what divine timing is. So if you're not seeing that, then your third eye is not as open as it can be, because if it's open, you will see the blessing in all things. You will have profound gratitude for what has transpired in this journey, in your life, for the betterment of your person, all of this. What can we see as far as this information? Okay, we have the King of Cups and the Knight of Cups. King of Cups is in the inverse. So this is telling me that there may have been some big emotions, some big feelings right now about the way things are frustrating. I feel like in this energy, We've all been advised to dig deeper into anything that confuses us and really ask directly to source. Show me the blessing, show me understanding in why it's had to be a bumpy ride, cumbersome, why this one thing seems to be sticky. There's some frustration here, but we can offer our best regardless into the world, to ourselves, to our counterparts. We can have this human experience, and we can allow anything that is inconvenient or frustrating or it doesn't seem on the surface like it's for us to become seen in a new light. When we're talking about Metatron, which we have on the third eye here again, this is the Archangel of Manifestation, where it's an angle we haven't seen before. Provision and abundance that we haven't tapped into because it's been outside of our perception. So specifically, adversity teaches us resilience. It teaches us lessons we didn't know. It is the remedy for get rich quick schemes, because it really shows us how energy is factored into the things that we do, that it's not just going through the motions. It's not just a physical action that creates abundance. It's a head-heart alignment. We're not robots. And the things that we connect with our heart's truth, those are the things that we untap our abundance through. So yeah, it does feel like there was a little bit of a growth spurt and emotionality for both here, regardless if you're masculine and feminine. There seems to be some big emotions, but with the Knight of Cups, it feels like it's coming out the other side, and there's a brave new world ahead. What is the emotion connected? Grief in the inverse. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. So that's in the inverse, which is telling me that anything that's being lost right now that's causing this emotionality, it's not actually a loss. And to be able to appreciate in hindsight, the big picture, the journey, that's what we're being asked to do right now, is to not be rebellious against any of it at this time. Don't harden your heart. Don't get a chip on your shoulder. Don't feel disgruntled. Just really know that this is what you've asked for. Keep going, keep expanding, keep opening your heart and your mind to what is coming in for you as you've been manifesting so deeply the direction you are going in and love. And sometimes we get what we need, not what we want. And that feels like what's happening here. But on the third eye, we're being asked to look at it from a cosmic, broader, divine perspective and not be caught up in the grief of what might seem to be happening right now, because there is a bigger plan at play in all of it. What can we see on the throat chakra? Dimensional planes of perception, number 3, subconscious awareness, Akashic information. So there's going to be, I'm hearing out of the mouth of babes. So it feels like as you connect with others, as you tell your story, as you ponder certain things out loud with those you trust and love, you're going to start hearing and channeling through depth. And these non-linear, like we saw to begin with, these non-linear epiphanies that are coming out at this time, because they've been time capsule epiphanies that factor into what's playing out right now. So possibly things dotted in your history that you've always, they've been remarkable, but you haven't fully understood what exactly the reasoning was for those things. This is beautiful because it's also connecting you to, so as within, so without. So as you are collecting some of these spontaneous memories and awarenesses, it's actually deepening your connection with self and your recognition of self, but it's also positioning you to see things out there or in your greater experience of life in a broader view as well. So dots are being connected internally, and you're now seeing with more maturity and depth what is playing out in your material realm. What can we see for advice here? Okay, Magician and prosperity and growth. There is something set here to kick off. This is like master manifestation with abundance. This card in this deck is the prosperity growth, the Six of Pentacles. So you are right on the precipice of unlocking new levels of abundance, and it may come through some conversations, because this is the throat chakra. This is the exchange of information. This is perceptions with regard to likely your journey, your romantic person here, the one that you feel you're on this path with. Exchanging between the two, it feels like it's going to produce more of a depth of understanding about why things have happened certain ways and what can come. It's like the initial awarenesses of this foreshadowing for prosperity to start coming in more fully. It feels like the two of you have some master manifestation information to exchange and to support each other. Now, that does not require it's a sexual romantic commitment, but it does feel that certain things are just going to bubble to the surface from the subconscious, and there will be a connect the dots kind of feeling between the two. It's pieces of the puzzle that the two of you have been encoded with that can now start to be shared. You may just want to keep an open mind and heart about what the implications are, because it doesn't feel like you are meant to come up with a strategy. It means you're meant to just keep open and pay attention, because you'll know these things when they arise, and it will begin painting a new picture. Fear. I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. So this is really interesting, because you must be in non-attachment to reap the rewards and benefits of this exchange that's playing out here. So I'm literally hearing leave romance out of it to some degree, and stabilize without being afraid that if this person isn't going to be romantic in your life, that you don't feel safe to go into this foundational exchange energetically, financially, subconscious, akashic. All of these gates are opening between the two of you. And it does feel like whatever safety measures or constructs that you want to cling to right now, you have to let go of those expectations and attachments to certain outcomes, or attachments to wanting the safety of predictability with regard to how your person feels romantically. It feels like there are bigger fish to fry than the romantic stuff right now. And it feels like there's a threshold of fear to push through, that you're not meant to look at it as an either or, romantic or financial or business. It feels like we're setting a foundation or about to unlock much more understanding about the information each counterpart is actually there to transfer to each other without sexualizing it. It's a very sacred thing that these connections have been drawn together. And if we want true foundation, true prosperity and growth, we have to set the right base levels as we go forward. And it feels like it's happening organically, but as we deepen, we have to let go of fear even further. The further into the depth of sincere connection we go, the more fear gets released, and the more open and safe and aware we become. And so if you can just bear with the energies and allow whatever is actually here for your connections at this time to be seen and appreciated, without the caveat or condition of a sexual connection or a romantic connection, then you will reap more of the benefits. If you can put the fear down that you're not getting something XYZ, or it doesn't look like you are at this time, really open your eyes, your heart, your ears, to your minds, to what can be seen here, because there's something big, deep, being uncorked for the two of you at this time. What can we see on the heart space? Temple of the Moon Goddess, emotional transparency, nurturance, and grace, right? So we're getting a chance to establish true, genuine, heartfelt connection, again, without the conditionality and binding of a premature relationship status or structure. So we're still laying foundation. Good old-fashioned courtship possibly, but you could even leave that out of here because we're actually looking at true connection and emotional transparency without condition. What can we see for advice? Put down the guard, drop everything that doesn't serve, keep your eyes open, be alert. Be alert to what this is, not in a way that you're vigilant and like stressed, but alert in the way that you can be in your safety and ready for the awareness and insight that can come right now, because there is an auspicious energy coming in. We do have Pluto in Aquarius for the next 20 years, and it feels like this is really ramping up. I'm hearing 12/12 portal again. So December 12th is going to be very, I heard culmination, accumulating. So there's something that's going to almost burst open. I just saw 21/12. Something is coming to a head, the forefront in this energy. What is the emotion? Change. Yeah, I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. So we're having to move internally by dropping the guard and externally by dropping things that don't resonate, that aren't in alignment. And this emotional transparency about what is a fit and what isn't a fit is the highest directive right now to bring in these changes. It's about discernment. What is serving internally or not, and what is serving externally or not, and not in an ego construct way, in a righteous way. Allow whatever is not for you to leave with grace at this time, and whatever is for you to be welcomed with the same grace. What can we see on the solar plexus chakra? Angelic assistance, truth, salvation, and majesty. So your empowerment, your abundance, your success 2222, I just saw, is coming through with the help of the cosmos, the angels. Truth will reign supreme here. So if something doesn't align right now, it's going to fall away. Nothing that is not actually for you can stay going through this portal. Wow. What can we get for advice? Page of Pentacles. So you're actually not meant to know. This is a card of grace in the upright, the Queen of Swords. It is tact and timing and flow, grace, as far as how we think about things. Right now, it may seem counterintuitive. I'm clearly getting that at this time, there might be something that's, I just heard ouch, something that just doesn't feel like it sits well. This is absolute confirmation of alignment or not. So if you have been expelled from something that you thought was a given, or something you were hanging out in past its expiration date, you're going to have to look in the mirror here and really admit to yourself there were things about it that were not quite a fit. And I'm hearing devil's advocate. So our world brings us a reflection of what is good for us. Everything is a blessing in that sense, even if we're not in control, even if we didn't call the shots. So we have to really receive whatever's playing out right now, because like I said, everything that's not aligned with your purpose going forward is going to be removed from your life, and you're going to have to take stock. You're going to have to look yourself in the mirror and be really honest about the fact that you're not meant to have certain things come forward at this time. Emotion, courage, yeah, so a great deal of courage is required. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. Remember, fear is testing the resolve to live in the energy of love. Love is the great provider. It is the frequency that shows solutions. When we tune into the higher love, the higher solutions, like that indigo rainbow fluorite energy, we get the instructions on Most High. We are shown more of a purpose. And so you are beginning to receive this guidance, and it does require courage because it's not the beaten path. It is going to be your individuated life path. And so this is where it's emerging even more. Even for those who feel like they are firmly already on it, there's going to be a twist coming up, is what I'm hearing, that's going to position you even more sturdily on this path. It's like you're going to acclimate to the altitude and be able to be a Sherpa level on this journey now. What can we see for the sacral chakra? Simultaneity, nonlinear processing, and epiphanies. Each person in this connection is going to have greater epiphanies about the spiritual connection you share. So you're going to see the things that, yes, you may have off the charts chemistry, you might have such attraction for each other, but this is talking about the spiritual benefit of that and seeing with more clarity beyond just the animal interpretation of the draw you feel to each other. It's going to start unpacking this more cosmic spiritual purpose. Alignment is going to start coming in. So for many connections I'm hearing, don't believe the hype of friend zone or boundaries with intimacy and all of that. It is paving the way and making room to birth this spiritual purpose and this exchange of compatible energy and puzzle pieces. It's like we're trading pieces of the puzzle right now, and it's coming through spiritual exchange. So a sacred deepening of what each actually has to offer each other, that's not just a physically intimate connection. So we saw emotional safety coming in, and now we're seeing spiritual exchange on the sacral, which is the most attractive energy that can come through because it's divine prophecy, it's divine channeling, I'm hearing it's the most pure mirroring that the counterparts can offer each other because it doesn't have the condition of the lower animal sensual energies. It's coming straight from source. Two people in alignment with divine and channeling. Our sacral chakra is also our channeling chakra. And when we can actually overcome the lustful impulses, the animal impulses, we can hear the voice of the divine in its pure raw form. And when two people have come into that alignment for themselves, they can truly minister to each other and actually support each other through divine confirmation, so that it's not perverted by agendas or ulterior motive of, getting in the other one's pants or something. There's something bigger meant to come through right now that is demanding we're not distracted by cheapening these incredibly spiritual connections into something that is more of a earthly nature. What a powerful message on the sacral chakra. What can we see for instruction? Commitment and 10 of Cups happiness. So I just heard it. This is done divine, the divine way. The foundation, the financial blessing, the ultimate happiness, the provision. So there is an incredible amount of divine wisdom coming in energetically, spiritually, through the counterparts, exchanging with each other in an alchemical exchange that is a spiritual thing. It's spiritual in nature, and it's very pure, it's very righteous, it's very divinely given right now, and it is necessary for these connections to be laid on a foundation of truth. The angels are helping, I heard again, bring in this divine intel. And it's not just our intimate individual connection with source, which we've all been working on, but it's the exchange with each other. So this is where there will be a very clear exchange of spiritual wisdom from each counterpart, encouragement, insight, prophecy, love, and prayer for each other coming in that is setting a new tone that is not typically found ever in strictly sexual, earth-based, material realm-based relationship. So we're kind of getting the sexual intimacy out of the way, so to speak, so we can have this higher meaning be brought and anchored into the connections. I'm hearing, just you wait. The intimacy will be even more blessed for it. But right now, there is a period of time where we're meant to step back from the sensual connections so that this higher spiritual intel can be grounded. It is incredibly foundational right now. We've got Metatron angels twice. We've got truth, salvation, and majesty coming in. So this is where we're anchoring the righteous templates, the instructions into the earth plane for this life purpose that was going to unfold over the next 20 years. And empathy. I'm open to seeing both sides of the situation. So this is where, without the agenda to be in an intimate connection, we're actually going to be seeing the key codes, the light codes, the archetypal information, the life experience, the insight, the divinely guided gifts and talents of our person. We're actually going to see this for what it is without the filter of our own agendas, past fears, or desires going forward. We're allowing for the desire to subside so that we can actually merge awareness of who the other is in these dynamics. Wow. What can we see on the root chakra? Ooh, union. Seal of clairsentience, clarity, knowledge, channeling, and unification. So I've been getting those messages through the sacral chakra, but this is grounding. This is the root chakra. This is the two coming together in the physical for financial provision, laying the foundation, this bedrock between the two. What can we see for advice? Wow, we get the Queen of Pentacles here with the King of Pentacles. So there is some trouble in paradise, and only divine engineers representing the heavenly realms, truth, salvation, majesty, righteousness, are up for this task of bringing this higher wisdom and solution through at this time. This is the inner nurture that is the remedy for this stress. So right now things might feel pretty gnarly for both counterparts, but we are getting this deep, deep calibration with connection to source that is reaching out into the Akash, the multidimensionality, the subconscious, and beginning to ground unconditionally between the counterparts. Imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspects of my mind. So as our spiritual giftings and our clarity, knowledge, channeling, unification, as we're becoming whole beings and dropping the earthbound agendas with these sacred counterparts, we're going to start getting epiphanies that allow for practical solutions coming in that are pure, that are of earthly good, that are divinely channeled. Wow. Do I want some more? I'm going to get one more card here. What can we see for the counterparts watching? Give with gratitude and grace and reclaim your power. Okay, so it's time to flow and use the discernment to exchange where it's warranted, to not. So grace was a word that was throughout this reading. It's in flow. When you have discernment, you know where it's warranted to give and receive. You have the healthy boundaries. You know what is for you. I'm being reminded that we saw a major clearing with the dropping the guard internally and dropping the external attachments to things that are not of compatible energy, that don't allow for flow. Be grateful. Give with gratitude and grace and reclaim your power. So keep open, continue to be generous, continue to be abundant, but reclaim your power by not giving or taking from and to things that are not actually honoring. Okay, there's a great deal of maturity in all of these messages, and many blessings, everyone. Bye for now.